I'm waiting for that, and I'm gonna take my kid.
Yeah, we've gone through this before.
Okay, Dick.
The video recording
This
for
is,
the entrance.
now, this is something that,
Why
I
do we
give you
need
the
that?
because of, we've just had some more vandalism talked about tonight, which is because we are a one-way in, one-way out. we have cameras with our business, and this thing's, he loves cameras. But anyway, it would be if we're putting up a VDR system where it could be one way in, one way out. I'll let him
Okay,
explain.
let me explain that. About 2-3 years ago, I recommended it to the board, not me, but she talked about it. The meeting was at our house, and some of the board members just says, no, that's an invasion of privacy. This was right after somebody not in this room had their house burglarized during the day. Well, I've got a business downtown. I've got 13 cameras inside and outside. My house has got 8 cameras wrapped around it. I believe in cameras. It's the greatest thing in the world. And it's known that the picture don't lie. And I got online and called up and talked to some people about a wireless camera system where we could take them. If it was going to be the
It's been suggested about lawsuit. At this point, what are you making signals?
I'm
over
just
there?
waving to symbol.
To continue to pursue this, I think we have to, first, do we keep the lawyer that we've got going?
No.
Because it's setting up, where we're at with this right now is,
Why don't you give him an ultimatum? Why don't you
Pending.
call him up and tell him, listen, this is the deal, pal. We want to have you on a yearly containment basis. We want a price for a yearly deal. Anything that you, in other words, if this year you work 12 hours for us and it's $100 an hour, here's your $1,200. We ain't paying rate.
May I make a suggestion? You suggested last time, or it was in one of the meetings, that you get the lawyer from who writes in the paper, Polinock or something like that.
Polinock.
He's very expensive.
he is expensive.
Yes, he is.
Okay.
I suggest we get somebody local.
Mm.
I suggest you ring up or follow it up with a letter. Get rid of this lawyer because I don't think he's done anything. He's either on holiday or he's busy.
Mhm.
And let's sit down and start the
This
discussion.
is, Dee did some checking, and there's, through this seminar that we went through, which is HOA, they have a couple packages that they'll do this, this, and this for this much money or something else, but it doesn't get into the main
Other areas.
lawsuit of
Yeah.
what it is. But it would get where it's going. Where
We're
we're
gonna-
at right now, Tony, is still, as far as this lawyer is saying, is still in a pending situation. The work has been done, but it's, you haven't exactly satisfied all the requests that were made of you.
How have I
And
not?
it still hasn't, and what's going on is, for a final approval at this point, it is being discussed and some kind of because other HOAs are having the same problem. They don't want white roofs painted.
I
with
sent your
the shingle.
attorney everything that he requested. I sent him copies of my bills, copy of the contract
What
to
did-
clean the roof.
I never
and it-
received a copy of the mediation letter that he wanted you to,
Can I finish a sentence, Helen, please?
it's just
I
asking.
didn't see you interrupt anyone here tonight.
Sorry, Tony.
I sent him a copy of the final bill. I had a licensed contractor spray the final coat on the roof, which is what is seen. And that was the big objection in the last meeting, that a licensed contractor wasn't used. Licensed contractor is not mandated by this statute. There is no law, to my knowledge, or any regulation which mandates that a homeowner has to use a licensed contractor for any work done on his home.
Okay, in the letter from the lawyer,
But I
it
did
was
use a licensed
asked,
contractor for the final coat.
that's the final coat, what
Yeah.
about the prep work? But this
The
goes
first
back to the first, there were things that the lawyer requested of you.
What?
You got the letter on it. One that there was supposed to be mediation. You ignored that.
No, I did not
So that-
ignore it. See,
Okay.
all these false statements keep being made. I'm sorry. I did not ignore it. I responded to him within 20 days. I'll forward you the email I sent him if you like. If you
Yes, I
haven't
would
seen
like,
it,
because
sure.
I never heard anything.
But I don't appreciate the continual false statements that have been made regarding this case, regarding things that I've said, regarding the product itself. A couple of people stated, you stated in the last meeting, that this requires, has to be recoded every few years. That's simply not true. And I have had many conversations with the people down there. They've been in business for over 80 years. They've been super helpful. And I said, I told him that this was stated. He said, there's no one here that would have said such a thing. It's nowhere on the website. It's not needed. I don't know where they're getting this from. So how did you reach this conclusion?
Well, on some of the brochures, it says it has to be redone in 3 years.
I know.
No. Show me.
I don't have my folder.
It's not in
up.
any of their brochures. It has to be recoded in 3 years.
Can I see that?
I don't have my, because I do have a folder, and I don't know, I'm not
Even-
familiar enough
Even
with
if you were
these.
correct, which you're not, but even if you were correct, so what?
Who was right about the sprinkler? Talking about misstatements that you've been bugging about forever on that.
And did I not send you an email saying my apologies?
Yes, you
My
finally did,
information
but you
was
would not take
incorrect.
my word for it, or the neighbor's word for it, that they had a sprinkler. They have green grass. They may have dead spots like everybody gets.
Can we not get sidetracked, please?
That's
Okay?
part of your sidetracking. I'm looking for something like I said, this is not Dee's. I'm not familiar with how Dee has her things.
Even if it had to be recoded every 3 years, which it does not, but that's my problem. It's not yours.
The problem is, goes back to, at this point, how do we resolve the fact that you did not get approval for the product in the first place when it
Okay.
is a new product
If-
to the community?
If you're willing to let me speak and listen, I will address that. But every time I try and talk, I get interrupted,
No, you have not.
and
Speak.
I've said
At
right
the
here,
last
listen,
meeting-
You have, I'm talking about tonight. You've interrupted her 3 times since you made this
you
statement.
just interrupted me now.
Huh?
You've just interrupted me now.
You're, of course, because
the
you're
last
sitting there.
meeting,
Now,
every
don't get
time I
sidetracked.
tried to
Let's
speak-
get back to the issue.
Whoa, whoa,
Explain
whoa.
yourself.
Let's call this meeting to order right now, instead of arguing back and forth.
Yeah, that's fine with me. I just
Let's-
would like to get this over and done with.
While we're on the topic, you and I speaking, I would appreciate it if you never call my house again, because
I called your house
you
since
called
the
at
night I called you?
11:25
Yes, you're right,
and woke us
because
both
you-
And when
up.
was
Twice
that?
a day.
And you owe my
at
wife
house
an
and my
apology,
cell phone.
sir.
All right.
I put a stop to it.
You owe my wife an apology. You
No,
have
I
a
do
problem
not.
with me. You have a problem with me calling you. Be a man and call me and tell me, please don't call me. But you called at
We'll change your phone
11:25
to a non-
specifically to
Okay,
wake us
come on,
up.
just stop.
I don't
They both
appreciate
have
it.
wives, they've both been disturbed, has nothing to do with what we're trying to discuss
Excuse
right
me,
now.
Helen, I've never called anyone late at night and woken them up, ever.
All right, let's call this meeting to order. Helen, did you find what you were looking for?
What I was looking here is that for what your product is, there was, oh, I have to read this correctly, but, okay, a warranty period of 7 years. So you're gonna have to do something later then.
No.
There was a low slope. You don't have low slopes. This
Mm-hmm.
product is meant for a low slope. You don't have low slopes on your house.
A minimum,
Then-
a minimum of a low slope. Go ahead.
I thought that it was, originally was made for flat roofs.
No,
No.
if,
And then-
if I can respond, they make a different product for flat roofs. It's a rubber coating for flat roofs. Any incline, this roof master can be used
Okay.
on.
Well, this is the information that, that we were given, and this is also, this is what is being discussed. With whoever decides what Energy Star is, with the government. And this is what I got from the lawyer. And this is where we're at right now, is it's still a pending thing because